When a new dungeon comes out and it's for max level, everyone wants to know what the best gear is currently and if the gear is going to be worth farming for on the new dungeon, because everyone was saying that this dungeon was going to be like Darkmoor, so is the gear going to be up to the level that Darkmoor gear was? And I would not compare this dungeon to Darkmoor at all, because yes, it has better gear for certain schools, like certain pieces of gear are going to be better, but it is not on the Darkmoor level in terms of every piece of gear being better. Because I don't think Wizard101 can do that anymore. I don't think they can come out with something, a new dungeon or whatever, that has every best in slot gear for each school. I think we're at the point where we can't do that because some of the gear just kind of caps out. And that's why we haven't seen any robe increases in a long time since Darkmoor. Like, the robes that you have now are pretty much the best that you're going to get unless they change how the game works and how stats work. So we're going to be looking at the new gear because it is craftable gear, and you can find it in the catacombs, which is one of the areas in the new quest line. I'm going to call it a quest line because it's not a dungeon. It is not just like 3 instances that you go through like Darkmoor and you're done. It is multiple instances, multiple dungeons all combined into one long side quest line. And yeah, there's a lot of bosses in it. So this is the NPC that you have to talk to get the recipes. And this has all the recipes for every school, just like they did in Imperia. And they're for level 130. We'll start with the hats. So this is what it looks like. It is 50k gold to buy the recipe, and these are the reagents that you need in order to craft it. Since I'm on my Storm, we're going to be comparing Storm stats. So I'm going to look at all the Storm gear, but it does have universal gear and every school gear. What's cool is it has mass hex, which for the balance one, it's universal damage. And for the other ones, it's the specific school traps. Except for life, but I think life needs to be fixed or something. But it's 0 pips for mass storm traps. So that's pretty good. And it's on all enemies. So that's a pretty good card. But here is the storm one. So Dragoons, Shocking Helm. And these are the stats. So level 130, you get a health increase, 1% power pip increase, same shadow, a little bit less accuracy, but I don't think that really matters that much. And then you get a crit boost up to 176, 5% more pierce, and you get 1% less damage. I feel like the damage decrease is going to make some people not want this, but I feel like there's a way to make this up if you get the right gear, so that could still work out. So don't look at the 1% decrease and be like, oh, I don't want it. It's not as good. I feel like there's ways to make that work because of the increase in crit. So that is what the helmet looks like, and that's the stats. You're going to need this Vanguard Shocking Helm in order to craft it, and this is the same for every piece. You need a Vanguard piece in order to craft it. I don't know where you farm for those yet, and apparently they're low drop rate as of right now in Test Realm, so I'm kind of concerned with that because getting all these pieces of gear that you're going to need in order to craft the better piece of gear is, yeah, it's going to be a lot of farming, but you have to get that. You have to get the chemical extract, the salts, and the crystals that are new reagents for this, and 3 tiers of reagents that you need. I only got 1 crystal my entire time doing the whole new quest line. And yeah, you're going to be farming to get this gear. So I hope the drop rate of this isn't that bad so you can get it. And then getting the extracts is not that bad. You'll get these eventually if you just farm enough. And yeah, that's what you need in order to craft these. So it's kind of difficult. I'm not going to lie. Crafting these as of right now in Test Realm is pretty difficult to do because you have to farm a lot. I don't know what the drop rate of all of these Vanguard pieces of gear are, but yeah, basically like Paradox, but even more difficult because in Paradox, you could just farm for it and get the drop. But I don't know if the Dragoon gear drops from the bosses. Unless it's like a super low drop rate and no one's gotten it yet, I'm not sure if it drops from the bosses yet. So that's pretty crazy if these are only craftable and you have to get this drop in order to craft this one. But the robes are nothing great. Here is the Universal and all the other schools. So compared to the Storm one, it is more defensive, and actually it's the same resist as my Malster one. So yeah, it's just not as good. Like nowhere close, doesn't even give damage. You're not going to be using the robe from this, so don't even bother looking at it. The boots are really good. I love what they've done with the stats on the boots. So not only do you get better stats, you also get 2 cards. You get Sharpen and Potent. So that means you could go ahead and Sharpen Blade one of your normal blades, and it would stack with your regular one, with your regular sharpen. So that's super good to have that on your boots. And also potent, you can do the same thing. So I love that. That's a super good addition. The stats, 1,000 health, a lot more than the Paradox. 1% less power pip. 5% increase on resist. I like that a lot. That's really good. And then 3 outgoing, that's nothing. 147 crit, so a little bit more, and the same damage. But overall, these boots are really good, and I'm going to be crafting them for sure. But again, you need to get the Vanguard shocking boots dropped, and then you have to get all the reagents again to craft this 300 extract. So that's tough. It's going to be some farming. Here is the wands. This is what it looks like. Did I look at what all these look like, by the way? This is what the storm gear looks like. And the storm boots looks like that. And then here are the wands. The wands aren't anything great compared to the new one from the pack. It's not as good, so I'm not going to be crafting that. But those are the new wands. The themes, I don't think they're anything great. I'm going to use my Aphrodite one because they don't even give power pip at all. They don't give power pip and they don't give a triangle. So I don't know what happened with that, if that's messed up. But also they give block, and you don't even need block anymore, really. Like, no one goes for block. So I'm going to pass on these. Here are the themes for each school. It's the universal one. And all of these that give resist. So a decent amount of resist on it because it gives resist for whatever school it is. But for Storm, I'm not going to craft it. I mean, it does give tier and square, but I'm fine with my Darkmoor one. I'm going to be keeping that because it gives pierce. Like 4% pierce is really good on an amulet. But there's those if you want to go defensive set. And the rings are also really good. So here is the ring. Here's the universal one. You're probably not going to be crafting that. But for each school, they're good. So compared to the Paradox ring, it is a little more health, 13% incoming, 118 crit, so more crit, better crit ring, and also 2% damage increase. That's better than the best ring that we have in the Paradox gear. So the 11% storm damage is going to be the go-to for rings in terms of damage and high crit. Like this is just the best. So square and circle socket, just like the regular ones. So you're going to be wanting to get that to complete the new storm set. But for that, you're going to need the ring drop and same exact reagents. So for me, I want to craft hat, boots, and ring. And getting all this gear and all these reagents is going to be tough. I don't know. I took a long time to craft the Paradox. Well, not craft, but get it dropped and craft the ring for the Paradox set. I waited a long time to get that because, I mean, you don't need the best gear right away. I only go for the best gear later on because I just want to have it since I don't mind farming at that point since there's nothing else for me to do. But I don't know if I'm going to be going for this right away. I will if I have people that are farming it, and I'll just join them and hopefully get some stuff. But as of right now, I don't know if the Dragoon gear drops from the bosses. I have no clue. I hope it does, just like the Paradox gear. But if it doesn't and you have to get the lower tier drop and then use that to craft it and get all the reagents, it's going to be a struggle to get this gear. But it will make you the best in the game in terms of gear-wise. And for my Storm, I'm going to go for the 100% critical highest damage possible. This is not my real damage because I'm using the Hyper Elixir. I just wanted to redeem it because, you know, I never get to redeem this. Why would I ever redeem this on Live Realm? I just redeemed it because it's Test Realm. Who cares? It's not my crowns. And, yeah, I'm at 181 damage just because of that. But not my true damage. But yeah, I don't know what it's going to be like. I hope that if the Dragoon gear doesn't drop, I hope that they up the drop rate of the Vanguard gear just so you can get it, so you can craft this stuff. Because as of right now, it's not looking like it's going to be easy. But there you go. That is the best gear currently in the game. Let me look at fire because I know people are always interested in the fire stats. I don't have a comparison to the Paradox, but maybe I'll put it on the screen. But there's the fire hat. And we're going to skip the robes because who cares? And there are the fire boots. 36% damage. Look how much damage fire gets. They get 30% damage on the hat, which is more than Storm. And they get way more damage on the boots, 36% damage. And I don't think that no, it's only 20. Well, it is more than the Storm one, 21, but 22% damage on that. And how much do they get on the the ring. 12%. It's pretty good. It's more than Storms. Storms is 11. So actually, what is the comparison of 36 to... Yeah, it's still 33. They didn't up this one. What is this one? It is 30 compared to 28. Yeah, so fire's getting more damage, but that's how it's always been. You know, fire gets more damage than storm. So they're continuing that trend of fire getting more damage, which is good. I don't mind that. Fire can do a lot of damage, especially with the overtimes. Actually, one of the strats for one of the bosses that I'll probably do in my video is to use Rain of Fire, just to do mass damage over time. But yeah, I will be going through this entire quest line on my life, and the videos are probably going to be pretty long just to get through it all because it is a lot. There's a bunch of side quests too. You can see that guy's a side quest over there, and that guy's a side quest. So there's a bunch of side quest content to do in these. I don't know if I'll do that in test realm. Maybe I'll wait till live. But yeah, there's actually a lot of things going on with this test realm, with the gear and with just all the instances that you can do with the bosses. So it's pretty good. It's actually a lot more than I thought it would be. But I'll probably do my wrap up, thoughts video a little bit later once test realm's out for a bit longer. So right there is the best gear that you can get in the game currently. You're going to have to farm for it, and I'll do that eventually on live realm. I don't know. Maybe I'll even live stream it at some point. So if this video was helpful for you guys, please leave a like on it. Definitely consider subscribing. We're almost to 168,000. I know that YouTube rounds the number now, but trust me, we're pretty close to 168K. So if you want to help me get there, consider subscribing. Also, we have a new join button if you want to click that and support the channel. Completely optional, but there's some rewards if you want to do that. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time.